Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to the show.
What's up, folks?
Hope all are doing well. Michael and John here. Hope all is well. You guys, John, how are you doing?
I am doing good. And yourself, Mike?
Doing pretty good. We came off the football weekend. I mean, if you didn't catch our show on Anthony's channel, the Dialed In NFL podcast, you can go check that out. But I'm sure we will talk some football. Larkin, how the heck are you, buddy? How's it going? But yeah, it's interesting, from football, obviously more action happened in Monday night's football game for Pittsburgh. More action happened at 9:00 on Tuesday morning than it did Monday on the field. But they were talking about Tomlin today. I was listening, and most people believe that he's not going to coach. And one of the reasons is because he still has 2 years left on his deal. So any team that would try and bring him in really has to make a trade for him. They can't just bring him in.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to give up some kind of, compensation to go ahead and get him. So a lot believe that, he doesn't think that, there are people saying that, that because there's 2 years left on his deal, that Pittsburgh may want a lot more, a lot more, more for it to be able to go ahead and get him out of 2 years. Whereas some people are saying that, if he takes a year off, it could actually, help other teams if they pursue him to begin the 2027 season. So
does he still coach though? I mean, that's the question, if he's going to want to coach anymore. I mean, he might be like, I'm done.
He might be. Now, I see, what I wonder is this. And I people said stuff about Bill Cowher, the way Cowher was on the sidelines and everything. People wondered how he would do, and he's done pretty darn good in the booth and everything. I wonder how Tomlin would be if he decided to go to TV route. Get a studio job. He's not going to call games. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to. I could not see him doing that.
What's up, Dom?
Hey, Dom, what's going on, man?
Happy Wednesday, brother.
Happy Wednesday. Yep. So from that standpoint, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting. There's nine head coaching spots open. We'll see how many retreads we get, and how many newbies and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. But baseball, we got Larkin here. Larkin, what do you think? The news came out that the Royals are going to move the outfield fences in 10 feet.
Ooh.
So now those doubles or those flyouts will not go. Yeah, I don't know, Larkin. I mean, you make a great point. The last, they've had 3 coaches since 1969. I don't know. Do they look for a young guy? I got to believe they want stability. I don't think they would look for an older coach. But the truth of the matter is this, and we talked about it last night on the show. Look, get a young guy in that you believe in. Look at like what Minnesota did with what is he? I forgot who's up there. Or the guy in Seattle, McDonald, I think is in Seattle. Bring a younger guy in that you believe can be a good leader, and go from there. That's what I would do if I was them. If you're gonna struggle, and don't sweat it too much.
Yeah,
that's what I think. but we'll see what happens. Kansas City, they did that once before. So that, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess they get some more offense.
Yeah.
You know, keeps Bobby happy, maybe. You know,
Yeah. I think Pete Carroll's done. I don't see anybody picking him up.
I see Pete Carroll as maybe a guy that they could potentially, use as a front office guy.
Yeah, maybe like a GM or something like that.
Yeah. True. It definitely, yeah. I mean, when you move the fences in, you're not just helping your own team. You are helping every other team that goes there for those 81 home games, and you help them out also. So you're right. Um, you know,
It's going to be the Rockies of the Midwest with all the home runs.
rather keep the advantage of the opponents having to cover that for. Yeah, I mean that's a big piece right there, Lachlan. That's a really big piece. You take, now all of a sudden now, everything, yeah. I mean, it changes 10, people 10 feet may not seem like a lot, but it is.
Yeah.
It really is, a lot. That's every throw is 10 feet shorter. So I mean, it's not just that, it's not just that you go ahead and and you maybe can hit a few more home runs. It could also go ahead and and hurt you in a way. And now a ball that would have gone in the gap, right? And maybe you get that double. Maybe that guy from hello, Kenneth. Maybe that guy from first base, on a gapper could score. Now that extra 10 feet, maybe not. 50 feet deeper than Yankee Stadium. I mean, maybe down the right field line, but even center field. Wow, very interesting. I did not realize that Kaufman was that big.
Yeah,
that big. Speaking, I mean, Lachlan, with the Chiefs moving, is there potential for the Royals of getting a new stadium? Maybe like where Arrowhead was, they knock Arrowhead down and they build a new one over there while they stay in Kaufman. Has there been any kind of chatter about, potentially a new stadium for the Royals? True, Yankee Stadium is not very big. Oh, I see. No, hey, it is what it is. They'll figure it out.
exactly.
Baseball got some movement this week since we were last on.
Today, especially.
Alex Bregman gets a 5-year, $175 million contract for the Cubs.
Yep.
No opt-outs.
And a no trade clause.
A full no trade clause.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that Alex Bregman, isn't necessarily worth the kind of money, but to me, when you look at this kind of stuff, what doesn't make sense is I look at a guy who, I mean, 273 batting average, 270. He's a 272 career hitter. I mean, he's going to get $35 million, right? That's at 35 million, about $35 million a year. And talking about a guy that's 273, 18. He hit 18 home runs. He played half his game, and he only played 114 games last year, right? So, he was hurt there. He played 145 the year before that. So the last 2 years, he's had some injury problems. But even when he's played a full season, You know, his last few years, he's been a 25, 26 home run guy.
I agree. They had Shaw. They really didn't need Bregman.
They have Shaw, unless unless there's
Planning on moving Shaw.
unless they plan on moving Shaw. Well, I know one thing: he won't be coming to the Mets. That's for damn sure. Not when his um, not with some of his beliefs. He wouldn't fit well with the shortstop. You know. But Matt Shaw, a young player, 24 years old. I mean, look, he didn't have a great year last year. 226, 13 home runs. I mean, so he didn't have that great of a year last year. But it was his rookie year.
Right. You
I
got to
mean,
give him a little leeway.
I mean, are you really giving up on him that quick?
It is the Cubs.
You know, I mean, they got a good
Not even need him.
I don't know what their plan would be with Shaw. And again, unless you're trying to go ahead and do something. I mean, can he play the outfield? I don't know. I mean,
are they going to move him to somewhere else? Maybe.
I mean, they're losing Kyle Tucker, so they do have right field open. They have Nico Horner at second. They have Dansby Swanson at short. They have Michael Bush at first. Nico is in his last year. All right, so maybe that's what part of the plan is. Maybe Seiya Suzuki goes back to the outfield a little bit, and a kid like Shore, maybe he goes ahead and gets time and as DH and second base, does some splitting of time and everything. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation here.
I agree, Luck, and I would have paid Nico before I paid Bregman.
Yeah, because I don't know what Bregman brings. I mean, I guess you could say he brings some leadership.
True.
I mean, he is a good fielding third baseman, But I mean, if he stays healthy, a corner infielder who maybe hits 25 home runs and drives in 80 runs. I mean, I guess baseball is changing a lot. Because I thought, corner infielders were not supposed to, I thought your corner infielders were supposed to be your big bombers. But you were looking for, 30 home runs out of those guys. Right. 30 and 100, 30 and 110. Not 25 and 90. I mean, does Bregman replace Tucker?
It's possible. I mean, I'm looking at Tucker now.
From a bat standpoint, obviously they play two different positions, so it's not from a fielding perspective.
What's up, Chuck? I think they're kind of about equal. Maybe Tucker's.
Hello, Chuck. How are you?
But looking up at what Tucker's asking for is ridiculous. He's asking for $50 million a year.
Well, supposedly,
all right, Mets made an offer 3 years between 120 and 140 million.
So supposedly the Mets went 3 for 150. Okay, then they went 4 at 205. And now supposedly they said they're willing to go 5 250, which, look, I don't blame any player for getting what he can get.
Right.
But you look at Kyle Tucker. To me, if you're in that $50 million range, to me, you're a top 5 player, and he's not a top 5 player.
Agreed.
I mean, like, you're paying him almost the equivalent, of Ohtani, of Soto, of Vladdy,
and he's not anywhere near them guys.
And look, I mean, he has good numbers. On base percentage is good. His walks to strikeouts, he's about a 1-for-1, which is phenomenal. He plays a good outfield, but he plays right field. Juan Soto plays right field. You know? Which one of them is moving over to left?
Yeah.
If you sign there.
I think if they did that, it would have to be Tucker going to left. I can't see making Soto move over to there. I mean, he might. But there's analysts that believe that Tucker overall value could exceed $300 million.
He is as good as Vladdy? Really? Really?
Maybe. Doubt it.
What are you basing that off on, Walker? Because Vladimir Guerrero, 2021, 48, 111, 311. 2022, 32, 97, 274. 23, 26, 94, 264. 24, 30, 103, 323. 2025, 23, 84, 292. 4.5 WAR. I mean, whatever. 6.0 WAR, 6.2 WAR. His on base percentage was a 381, 39. I'm sorry. Yeah, a 395, 396, 345. I just don't see how he has as good as Vladdy. Vladdy to me is a top 5 player from an offensive standpoint.
Right.
Whereas, I don't think Tucker is there. I good. Like, okay,
top 10, top 15.
He's probably top 15 for sure. I mean, I guess you consider him. I mean, he might squeeze into the top 10. But I think you have to look at, like, again, I just look at it from a standpoint of is that I would not think that a Kyle Tucker is a $50 million a year player. Now, there are a lot of things being said. One of the big things that is being said is that when you look at the free agent, when you look at free agents, people that we know that will be free agents at the end of the 26 season and at the end of the 27 season, that as of right now, if you put in with 2025, Tucker's like the best hitter available. Like next year, there won't be anybody better than Kyle Tucker. That'll be a free agent. In 2027, there won't be anybody better than Kyle Tucker. That is what a bunch of people have been saying on some YouTube baseball stuff that people were talking about. The ones that are saying the Mets should pay whatever they have to go ahead and get him in, because if you let him go by, you're going to have to make a trade and give up more assets to get a good hitter. So they're saying, no, that's why the Mets should go ahead and overpay. And personally, I just disagree with that. I don't think they should overpay. They're going to have to, because if you don't, he'll go to Toronto. Supposedly, it's Toronto, the Dodgers, and the Mets. From what I've read, the Dodgers are somewhat a distant third because they want him to defer money.
Right.
And I think Toronto and New York are not asking him to defer any money.
Right.
Tucker has more WAR, higher slugging, OPS plus, and is not far behind in counting stats and 1,000 less at bats. Okay. I mean,
Now, looking at what you were saying as far as 2027, I do see Acuna is on there, but it has that the club option. So he could potentially be out there next in 2027. Yeah, I think he would do. He's better than Tucker when he's healthy. But other than that, there's really, I mean, George Springer, he's not even that great.
no.
Rendon, no. Yeah, you're right. There's not a ton of them out there that are besides him or Acuna that would really match him.
His options are only 17 million. You mean Acuna?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a $10 million buyout.
if there's a club option, if there's a club option for in 2027 for 17 million, and he is healthy, I mean, if you're the baseball team from Georgia, how do you let him walk?
You know, if he's healthy and he's doing, and he's if
You
he
may
has a
bring
good year this coming year, they're going to definitely re-sign him.
you may bring him back and trade him.
It's true. He'd have to really do real crappy for them to buy him out and say you're free to go.
Yeah, Luis Robert has a $20 million option next year. That's a club option, and I think with like a $2 million buyout or something like that. There was talk that that was saying that the Mets were in on him because of the low dollars,
Yeah, it's very
from that standpoint. But I don't know. I mean,
that would be a Chuck. He would know about that. That's his team. But I don't think Tucker's worth 175 million. 140 maybe.
Tucker.
Yeah.
No, Tucker's number is going to start with a 2.
Right, but I don't think he's worth. Hey, look. Rodriguez.
Yeah, I believe didn't J-Rod, didn't he sign one of those crazy deals, one of those like
I think so.
he signed cheap, and who's the other one?
He signed in 2022, guaranteed at least 209 million over 12 years. We can escalate to 470 over 17 years if performance incentives like MVP voting and stuff like that.
Corbin Carroll. Corbin Carroll. I think it was another one. There was a couple, but didn't Bobby sign some kind of longer term deal? I think I don't know for sure. I'm just guessing on that one.
He signed a massive 11-year, 288.7 million extension with Kansas City in 2024.
Yeah,
which can grow to 377.7 over 14 years.
Yeah, I mean, in a White Sox uniform, I don't disagree with you, Chuck. To me, what scares me about him is that he plays really. I mean, he's an excellent center fielder. He runs like the wind. I mean, he steals base, he runs. I'm just wondering if what he would be like in a change of scenery. I think a change of scenery would do a guy like that, something solid. Yeah.
Yeah, the White Sox exercised the $20 million club option for 2026.
Yeah.
So, and then next year, 2027, also worth $20 million with a $2 million buyout. I think he did not end up being the hype that they thought he was going to be. But like a lot of the rookies end up being, there are very few, one or two that maybe do decent. Yeah. I agree with that, Logan.
Yeah,
But Lubov's like the biggest name on the White Sox, isn't it? I don't know of anybody else that really big name wise.
exactly. Exactly. I don't. He won't be. I mean, well, I don't know for sure, but I don't think he will be a White Sox after the trade deadline.
Right.
When it comes to names, yeah,
I mean, I don't think there's anybody I can think of that's on there that makes you think that okay, well they did good there, but
Miguel Vargas is that third baseman. Yep, I agree. I can't see him being there.
no.
Now, I don't know if they have um
Yeah, I've been attendee, but I mean,
but I don't know if they have anybody in the wings that they would want to get rid of him.
right,
True. The White Sox are looking at his potential.
right.
That's the problem.
That's kind of like
Nobody's going to go ahead and trade you for his potential.
yeah, it's kind of like Bo Bichette. That's what they're saying, that a big hurdle for because the Phillies are interested in Bo, but with the hurdles of the money and prospects is what is holding them back.
Well, why? I think he comes with I think Bo comes with a qualifying offer, so they'll lose a draft pick or two.
He's also asking 300 million.
The thing with Bo is that he's also, as a shortstop, he's not a very good fielder.
I agree.
He might be better at second. You know, I don't know about third, but we'll have to see. Yeah. Red Sox signed Suarez, so there's no way the Royals get Duran. Why did the Royals want Duran? What will they give? What did the Red Sox want from the Royals? They want like obviously they must have wanted pitching. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with some movement. People thought, well, Bregman's going to sign, and that means that Bo Bichette will fall in place.
Could be.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have had a problem giving up Bubik for Duran. But I would not give up Raggins for Duran. Not in my opinion. But a lot of people think, and that's what they're saying. People are wondering about, well, is it Bellinger? Is it Tucker? Which one of them has to go first and everything? And everything that seems to be is the Yankees seem to be the only ones that are in on Bichette. I mean, on Bellinger. You really don't hear any other teams talking about Bellinger.
Yeah, it's just the Yankees right now.
Tucker, you hear three teams: Toronto, the Mets, and the Dodgers. Funny thing is you don't hear about any kind of offer the Dodgers have made other than real numbers. The only thing I heard was that the Dodgers either offered something with deferrals or that's what they want. I haven't heard of anything, from a Toronto, standpoint. There has been nothing that said, "Hey, Toronto has offered, this amount of money." Which
Right.
sucks because the Mets started off at 3 for 150, then they went 4 105, 4 205. Now they may go 5 250. And it's like, okay, so you're bidding against yourself.
Yeah.
Bregman good pickup, but they didn't need him. Yeah, we were talking about that, Chuck. Like, what do they do with Matt Shaw? But where does Matt Shaw fit in? I mean, he was a rookie last year, so what are you doing? Every contract Dodgers sign match like that. You would think they have to have a limit, but you never know. They may look at it from a standpoint of you know what, we make up for it in, merchandising and all the other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. They signed the first baseman. Um, oh man. Moriyami, or I forgot what his name is. So he's a smart number one, you know, he has I think it's Mora, I don't know, I can't remember either. Um, wow, Drew Romo was with the Mets, and now he didn't even do anything. He got claimed off of waivers for um the White Sox did. Anthony K. Where the hell's his name? Murakami. Buddy Dom, yes. Happy Wednesday. Murakami. Yep, Murakami is his name. Um, so it's interesting. He's an old guy. He only signed a 2-year deal. Coming from Japan, only signed a 2-year deal, and he's young. He's only like 25 years old. A lot of people thought that he would get a longer term deal, but unfortunately he didn't. The thing with him, from what I have heard, is people were concerned that he did not hit, mid 90s, upper 90s fastballs. And we know the way baseball is right now. There are a lot of pitches that throw in that range. Especially late in games, right? A lot of your relievers now, they're just grab back and let it go. But I think it's going to do good. I think it was a really good pickup by them, and it's a 2-year deal, right? I mean, to me, it works for both of them. It's a 2-year deal from the standpoint of, you know, if he does well in 2 years, it's good for him. He's still young. He can still get a big contract. If he doesn't do that well, at least the White Sox aren't in a 5 to 7-year contract and everything. Yeah, the other one back to Japan. The other one was very weird. Mahi, him. That one was weird because people were like saying, "What's his role going to be?" Because when you look at his contract, he actually has like incentives for 80 innings pitched, 90 innings pitched, 100 innings pitched. I mean, so either that is just thrown in there to go ahead and make him feel good, know he's going to get there, or you got to start to shake your head and go, what role is he going to have? But I think he signed with the Astros.
Who is that?
Japanese pitcher.
I haven't gotten them yet.
Let me see here.
The Astros.
Maybe not.
You said the A's or the Astros?
I thought it was the Astros. Valdez. Yeah, no. So now Valdez is the big arm on the market.
Tetsuya Amai?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3-year deal.
With the Astros?
Yep, with the Astros.
Yeah, but it's funny is that when you when you look at that contract even more, it's like I said, it does make you wonder about his durability too. You know, what kind of contract do you sign that you're going ahead and you're having, hey, if you get to 80 innings, we got, you know, we got we got an incentive for you. So I don't understand, how that whole thing is going to work.
Okay, now who signed it? Who didn't?
Where the hell is he on here? Is he on here?
So you guys lost Brandon Nemo too. Not that you guys probably care, but
Well, no, we traded Nimmo.
yeah.
Nimmo got traded. Maybe Lou Bob and Eloy need a contract like that. Yeah. You know, that is definitely true, man. That is definitely true when you look at it from that standpoint. Yeah, so he has so here you look at it, right? So in 2026, he gets 18 million. So the Japanese guy, that pitcher, he does go ahead and he has opt-outs after the 26th and after 27. So he has two opt-outs in a 3-year deal.
Right.
But his 27-28 salary escalates based on 2026 innings pitched. 80 innings, he gets $1 million. 90 innings, another million. 100 innings, gets another million. He can go from 18, he can go from basically 17 million to 20 million.
Right.
You know, that's true. I heard he just signed some kind of like minor league deal, I think.
Who, Eloy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. It was a who was it too? He just had it up now. I lost it. It was a minor league deal that he got.
I mean, it makes, I guess it makes sense in a way, you know?
Toronto.
Yeah, that's it, Toronto.
To a minor league contract and invite him to spring training.
Yeah.
I
I don't know, like I said, when you look at, free agents that are still out there, there's 4 free agents, I guess you want to call them the big ones that are out there now with Suarez going ahead and signing. It basically boils down to Tucker, Valdez, and Bellinger. After that, and Bo. So
yeah.
we'll go 4. We'll call 4. After that, I mean, you know, some guys got to be careful, like Zach Gallen. Um, Zach Gallen's not getting any love right now from outside of Arizona because supposedly, you could lose draft picks if you sign him.
Right.
And teams will look at a 30-year-old pitcher and go, you know what? It might not be worth losing draft picks over him. Plus he's looking for a 4-year deal.
Arenado's a bum. Sorry.
The D-back, you're 100% correct. When you look at what the D-backs gave, so the D-backs gave up nothing, and the Cardinals are sending a bunch of money too, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, Eugenio, how do you say Suarez, the third baseman, the guy that played for D-backs and Seattle. That's
Yeah.
true. He's out there. So 2 outfielders, 2 infielders, and 1 pitcher are your bigger names out there. I mean, like I said, Zach Gallen, he hasn't signed, yet and everything. I don't think has Michael King signed. Did he re-sign?
I think I just saw that. I think.
Yeah, he signed 3 years, 75 million. So 25 million a year for a Michael King. I mean, again, this is where baseball is so flipping crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, even when the guy started, I mean, I guess he came back from injury or something. He started 15 games, went 5-3. The year before that, he started 31 games, but he was 30-13. And the guy's getting $25 million a year.
Yeah.
Cards just sent, $31 million they sending him with. Verlander did look good in the second half. I mean, who knows what'll happen with him? Yes.
Yes, thank you, Dom. We know that. Thank
You
you.
know, Dom, I think so. I guess you weren't a fan of his before, but the true real bum is Edwin Diaz. You know, Edwin Diaz basically came out and said, "Hey, I wanted to pitch. I want to win, so I wanted to pitch for the Dodgers." He's more of a bum than Pete is. Pete wanted his money, and Baltimore offered him, and the Mets didn't even make him, a low ball offer to say, "Hey, no, thanks, everything." Mets didn't even offer him a contract. You know,
So since I have Dom in here and you in here as Mets fans, do you think you guys overpaid for Soto?
it's only 1 year. It's too hard to say after 1 year. I mean, I- you know, overpay in uh overpay in what way? And the reason why I say that is this: he had 43 home runs, 105 runs batted in, 127 walks, 38 stolen bases, which that I can't ever see that happen again, but who knows? His average was down, but he had a 396 on base percentage. But I don't know. So I don't know. I mean, he had
I'm
a
saying
six.
750 million. Do you think that was too high, especially with his fielding? He's not the greatest fielder.
For a guy who, you know, I mean, it's sad when you look at what he's 27 years old.
So
Okay,
they should be
he's 27 years old. You're probably looking at a guy who I would think, my own personal opinion is he's probably got 2 years left in the outfield at best. Then he's got to go ahead and he's got to come in and be either infield, first baseman, or he's going to have to be a full-time DH. And then at that point in time, if he gets to the point where he's 30, 31 years old and he has to be a full-time DH at that age, unless he's putting up, well, Ohtani pitches, so you can't even say he'd have to put Ohtani's numbers up offensively, because Ohtani can go step on the mound and throw you 7 innings of shutout ball and strike out 10 guys. Soto's not doing that. So from that standpoint, right now, no. But honestly, I think that's like with most big contracts. If a guy is on the younger side, right? If you take a guy who's 30, 31, 32, 31 years old and you go, "Hey, we're going to give you a 10-year contract. We're going to sign you until you're 41 years old." You already know that that one is not going to go ahead and age well at all. He's 27 years old.
True.
He should have, at worst case scenario, 4 more years or 5 more years of very productive, offensive numbers where he is hitting, big numbers and everything. I mean,
Right.
but but from that, sorry.
Be right back. I gotta let my doggies out.
All
I'm
right.
listening.
But from that standpoint, um, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, yeah, when he's 38 years old and he's getting paid $60 million a year or $50 million a year, whatever the number is, yeah, it's probably going to be a bad contract, you know. But I mean, ultimately, I guess you have to look at it this way. You know, if he leads you to a World Series and you win, you know, from that standpoint, is it overpaying? It just depends how again, the other piece is Dom said there's Soto, uh, you know, there's Soto jerseys everywhere. I think they said that the Dodgers, in just the first 2 years of the Otani contract, that in merchandising sales, they've already gone ahead and made pretty much, almost his whole contract.
True.
But I think that's what you have to, unfortunately, yeah. Is it an overpay? I'm sure it is. Otani shouldn't. I mean, again, it's
Otani's a dual threat though, with the pitching and the batting.
correct.
So I mean, I think he was slightly overpaid, but it is what it is. Just like I think all of them are overpaid. Whatever.
Well, that's what I'm going to say. At some point, that's part of what of it is also.
I'm
But
just curious what you guys thought of that contract and all that.
so it's weird because the way I talk about Tucker, the way I talk about Soto are two different things. Part of me doesn't care because, I don't live close enough to be a season ticket holder to where all of a sudden now at some point in time it's going to cost, $100 a seat, to go ahead and sit up, in the third deck. You know what I'm saying? From that
Right,
standpoint, with the crazy ass money. So being able to watch from afar, it doesn't affect me going to games, right? So from that standpoint, do I want an owner that will do whatever it takes to go ahead and win? Yes. Soto is smart money,
Oh yeah.
right? Because he's still young. He is an unbelievable, you just look at, like I said, what he did last year, the numbers he put up and everything, right? Very different type of thing.
And he
But
doesn't get hurt that often. Which is
huh?
good. And he's not getting hurt like every other year.
No, no, not at all. And again, I mean, I think, any contract, you know, you got to hope that the first few years, are big deals and stuff. Like you look at Otani, when he signed, he's going to be 31 years old, this year. So I don't know, from that standpoint of, eh, if he goes ahead and breaks down, like I look at if Otani goes ahead and if Otani couldn't pitch at, let's say, age 32,
Right.
and he has to go DH. We've already seen what he can do hitting, stuff like that. So, right, not an issue. But from the same standpoint of it is you could be looking at Soto as the same way. So how is it? Is it that bad?
Sure, I can understand that.
You know what I mean?
I got you there. Oh, I
MLB
agree.
taking over all the networks to probably start charging big subscription fees. Watch your local team. Yeah, that could wind up happening. That's really going to suck locking when that happens. If they start taking the whole thing over, and I mean, I already get the MLB network, which is not that you get a discount once you've been there for a couple years and everything. They give you some money off and everything. But the problem, uh, there are issues with that. But I don't know do I think it's an overpay? Again, John, to me, it all depends. It's an overpay if it stops them from adding the parts and pieces that they need to win, to try and win a World Series.
I got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like if all of a sudden you go, man, shit, we didn't have freaking that $55 million contract for Soto, we could do some different things, like if that's some of the internal conversations, that's not a conversations they're going to have, out in the open with people. But if they have that type of conversation internally, then yeah, it's like, well, then why the fuck did you go ahead and pay the guy? Well, what the hell were you thinking?
Right.
From that standpoint. Yeah, so it kind of stinks. Um, you know, the MLB network stuff, what kind of gets you is um where they have all the blackouts and stuff like that,
Yeah.
you know? That's the part that stinks. You know, like for me, it's not that bad because, oh, hey, you know what? I can't watch the baseball team from Georgia. Well, that's fine. I could care less. I don't want to watch the baseball team,
Unless they're
you know,
playing the Mets.
unless they're playing the Mets. That's the only time, you know, I'll watch or anything, you
Right.
know. But from a standpoint of is that, you know, like for instance, you know, when you look at the map, it's crazy. Like Seattle, it's the if well, that's from 2019. Never mind. I gotta go ahead and get a newer one. Um, but when you look at some of the blackout maps, I mean, it's just absolutely, you know, crazy and stuff. Like I think, like I think when I move to North Carolina, I think I may get, you know, Baltimore and Washington added into my blackout area.
Possible, yeah.
It's like, why? It ain't like this, right? How many people are traveling from freaking Charlotte, North Carolina to Baltimore to watch the freaking Orioles play
Or the Nationals, nonetheless.
or the Nationals? Like I don't understand that. Like you want to black out Virginia and Maryland, or you know, or even actually even only parts of Virginia. If you live all the way down at that part near Tennessee, right, and Kentucky,
Yeah.
you what you ain't going to that many. You ain't traveling all the way to freaking Baltimore to watch the games.
Hell no.
You know, it's kind of, you know, I mean, it's unfair. It's but what are you going to do? You want to watch, you know, and that's the way it is. Yeah, so I think like I think I'll get blocked out by I think the Nationals will be another one that I'll get blocked out on.
Hopefully, you don't get blacked out on the Mets.
No. Mm. That I know I won't, but I that much I pretty much believe is should be okay, you know. But what I like what's pretty cool from the standpoint of, you know, is we're going to be moving to there's a lot of minor league baseball, so that's good.
There you go.
You know, I'll be able to you know, uh be able to go ahead and you know, uh see, well let's see which teams can I be blocked out from? Oh man.
I will be right back.
Yep. Check local blackouts. There's a place you could put in a zip code. There we go. 27292. So from my zip code, it tells me live regular season games involving the following clubs are subject to MLB.TV blackouts unless local streaming products are available. Cincinnati Reds, Baltimore Orioles, Washington Nationals, and the baseball team from Georgia. 4 teams. How many people that are going to that are living in Lexington, North Carolina? Why the hell is Cincinnati have to be blocked out? Yeah, exactly. When I put my new zip code in, the Cincinnati Reds come up. Why? Makes 0 sense. 0. And I can get Baltimore if I do I can access Baltimore by purchasing the MASN Plus subscription from MLB. And then I could buy some other uh you'd have to purchase the Nationals from MLB TV. I don't understand it, man. I don't I don't understand it. So now there's like 4 teams that I can't watch the New York Mets play against, which makes zero. Like I said, it makes absolutely 0 sense to me. But that's the way it is. What are you gonna do, right? You're gonna go ahead and you you have to play the game. Unfortunately, you know. But we'll see. Like to me, why should there be like? I can understand if you want to black out a game um, within a relative distance of a major league stadium. Like, for instance, to me, I'm sorry, but even in the state of Georgia, for somebody that lives down in Valdosta, Georgia, or Savannah, Georgia, it's a 4-hour plus ride to get to the stadium. How many times are you going to do that during the year? Right? Maybe you do it, let's say 5. That's crazy. That's just crazy to me. That's the part that bothers me. That's the one thing, you know. So people are saying, you should go ahead and some people were saying to me, "Oh, you need to go ahead and get a VPN and stuff and just say you're from California and everything when the Mets are playing any one of those teams and you want to watch it." Yeah, I guess, but it's a big friggin' hassle to go ahead and you know, and do. So we'll see. I'll get through this year. I'll get through the 2026 season, see what it looks like. From that standpoint, especially the West Coast games, I'll be able to watch more of them because I won't have to worry about going to uh going to work the next day. Yep, Dante Moore staying in Oregon. No quarterback for the Jets in the first round. There are rumors coming out that played into his decision. Um, while he could still control it. Now, obviously, next year he has no control, but he has control. And remember, you know, I talked about this. We talked about this last week and everything, and this is where I said NIL can affect the draft. And people go, "Oh, you crazy. There's no way. Guys are not going to pass up $40 million and blah, 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 blah." And I was like, yeah, no. Yeah, you're wrong. They will because they're not because of cost of certain organizations, you know? Look, I can't blame the kid. I mean, I seriously cannot blame the kid. When you look at that team and everything that it needs, you know, I don't blame the kid. Now, you wonder if someone could say, "Hey, kid, guess what? You could, true, true." But the truth of the matter is, Larkin, there would, in my opinion, okay, the potential of the kid, knowing that both teams at 1 and at 2 need a quarterback. There was no there was no way he was going to fall. At least I don't think so. I honestly don't think the Jets would the Jets would have passed on him. Now, if somebody came and said, "Hey, we'll give you 2 number ones, we'll give you our number 1 this year, our number 1 next year, and throw in a 3 or something." If somebody would have made them a stupid deal, crazy deal and overpaid to get up to number 2, I could see, that them trading out and everything. But you got to believe that the kid was going to be either the first pick or the second pick. I agree. Again, I think because I think not playing well definitely went ahead and played into his mind. And number two, the Jets going ahead and having the second pick. And like I said, I had some arguments with people going back and forth and everything and stuff on X, and they're like, "You're crazy. Who in their right mind would tell that kid to go back to school and get paid $4 million when he could be paid, sign a $50 million, whatever it is, $1 million contract in the NFL?" And it's because I said, because if he doesn't want to go to a certain team and he knows he has a good shot at going to one of those two teams, nope, I don't want to go. I'm going to go back. I'm going to take my $4 million. I'm going to go back to Eugene, Oregon, and play college football and try and win and try and win try and win a title.
Well, reading on what he said to ESPN, he said, I want to be the most prepared as I can for any situation he goes into. So I guess try to get more experience, maybe.
Well, of course. And I think we talked about it.
Yeah.
In college football, they've done all kind. They look at college football quarterbacks, and there are anomalies. There are anomalies to everything. Everybody, there's guys who don't go ahead and fit the narrative or fit the case that is out there. But the studies that people have done, they have said, guys that have a better chance of succeeding are guys that played a lot of college football. You look at the Mannings. I mean, people are going to go Tom Brady again, unicorn, woo,
Right.
right? Brock Purdy. Look at how many starts he has had, right? You look at a lot of these guys. Sam Darnold. It took him a while, but look how many. But he had a bunch of starts in college. You look at the guys who have had a lot of starts in college, and they have a better chance of doing well in the NFL than guys. Look, I mean, you can look at a whole bunch of ones who, didn't have a lot of starts and looked what happened. There list plenty of them on the list. He'll be down further. Yes, he won't be he won't be the number 2 quarterback next year, for sure. But you don't know. That's the one thing about the NFL draft. You don't know if he goes ahead and he plays lights out, and some of these other guys going ahead and don't play. He moves up just a couple of ticks. And next thing you're getting drafted. Number 4 overall, number 3 overall, and who knows what it is.
Yeah, I think he'll end up being a top 5 next year, or decides to go in next year. But that moved Jeremiah Love up to number 2.
The number 2 pick?
Yep.
Going to who?
Well, no, they're just saying he's like Mendoza is scheduled to go number 1, and then number 2 is Jeremiah Love going next.
That would be pick number 2.
And then Reese.
Yeah.
Magua.
Who?
Magua at number 4.
Yep.
Bailey at 5. Caleb Downs at 6. Styles at 7. Tate at 8. Kenyon Sadiq at 9, and 10 would be Jordan Tyson.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, if you're saying they're showing Jeremiah Love being drafted number 2, that means the Jets draft him unless they trade out. Reese is an easy pick, but there are a lot of people are not sold on him because he's a little undersized to be an edge rusher in the NFL. I think he's going to be really good. To me right now as a Jets fan, you try to me I move back. I try and turn that number 2 pick. And you don't know, things will change during combine, right? Reese, Bain could move up. One of the wide receivers, could move up. But to me, the point right now is now that you're not going to take a Moore or a Mendoza. Maybe you hold off and you wait until the Raiders make their pick because you don't know what the hell they might do.
It's true.
From that standpoint, you just don't know. But maybe you go ahead and you wait till draft night, you entertain some offers. Then when the Raiders go ahead and then they announce, Mendoza, maybe if there's a team that is in love with Reese and you could get an extra pick or two, and maybe you only move back, 4 or 5 spots. I mean, to me, I think that's what you do.
Looking at this one mock draft, they're saying you guys are going to pick Reuben Bain Jr.
You're right. That would be funny as shit with the Raiders locking. They take Jeremiah, they take Love, and they have Genty and Love. Bain is another good one. Downs is a good one. There are some really good players.
That's what I'm hoping we get is Downs because we need some good defensive players.
But I think if you look at it overall, your biggest need is not available at our first pick in the first round. If you can convert that into another pick, or if you can convert that one pick into 2 or 3 picks, knowing that you need a lot, it would pay to go ahead and trade it. Bring the wishbone.
Would you trade one of your first rounds next year to trade that away?
What do you mean?
Like to possibly get a better player
in this draft?
Yeah.
No. I would not trade any of those 3 first rounders next year at all. Nope. Would not do it. Because depending on how things shake out with the quarterbacks there, you have enough ammunition. We have enough ammunition to move up. Now, the funny thing is we shouldn't have to move up far. I mean, if we only won 3 games with this team, I can't imagine they're gonna win. We're gonna win a lot more games.
17 next year.
I mean, I gotta believe we'll be in the top 5 for sure.
Who's your quarterback right now?
Exactly. I mean, on the roster, you have Justin Fields, you have Tyron Taylor, and you have Brady Cook. And there ain't one of them that deserves. Well, Taylor deserves to come back as a backup. There's no starter. There's no starting quarterback.
Oh, you don't like Justin Fields?
No, it was a mistake to begin with.
Gotcha.
I like the kid.
Maybe
he's a local kid. He just the other side. He's in the same county that I live in, just on the other side, on the west side. We're on the east side and west side. Went to Harrison High School. Great kid. I've met some people who played against him, who watched him play, and said just the young man himself, incredible human being. I just don't understand what the hell happened with the way he played at Ohio State versus the way he's played in the NFL. Like he doesn't even look like the same player.
Right.
Yeah, tough situation. Now again, to me, I look at a kid like that, Ohio State. He goes to Chicago, or sticking around local there. Did well in college. A lot of pressure gets on these kids.
Oh yeah. Now, would you prefer you guys pick a defensive person in the first round or a quarterback? That pick you have at number 2.
At number 2 right now, boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Because you do have that Simpson quarterback that's out of Alabama.
Yeah, I do not want maybe day 2, maybe in the 3rd round you go ahead and you draft, a quarterback. Maybe you take the kid Nussmeier from LSU, or until he got hurt. Another guy that people talked about a lot was Drew Aller out of Penn State. I may take him in the 4th round. To me, the first 3 rounds, I would not touch a quarterback. I don't think Simpson. I would not go ahead and I would not go ahead and touch him. I don't think not take a quarterback. There's no need to take a young quarterback early in this draft because anybody after Mendoza, it's none of them are projected, to be excellent. They're, maybe they could be, serviceable. Maybe they'll be game managers from that standpoint. The draft, the overall, when you look at all the quarterbacks, the top quarterbacks that are available in this draft, every analytical person who looks at the NFL will tell you it is the worst one in a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. 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 Oh, maybe that's true. I didn't think about that part, Larkin, from a standpoint of is and you have such overwhelming receivers that are, especially, when you have these guys that get open all the time. And when you have, 2 or 3 of them on the field at the same time, yeah, you're going to look really, really good. That's a good point. but from a draft perspective, yeah, I mean, some people are saying that Cleveland loves the Reese kid. They love the Reese kid. So, hey, if Cleveland's interested, say Cleveland, you want to move up from number 6 to number 2 because you want this guy. Give us number 6 and give us number 24. The pick you got, from Jacksonville, I think from Jacksonville. Yeah, he would be fun to watch. The kid from Old Miss, Chambliss, he'd be fun to watch. But, I guess,
If you signed one of those guys early on, would he start for you, or would he be back up for a while until he got his reps in?
Well, that's just it. There's nobody. Most people will tell you that from this draft right now, Mendoza's like the only one that they could believe that it could start from day one. People were even saying more if the Jets draft more, they have to go get a Malik Willis, a Mariota, a guy like that they could start for 1 year and put more on the bench. Don't make him go out on the field because it would ruin him, and you'd be in the exact same spot 2 years from now.
True.
So that's why people are saying wait to the 3rd round at the earliest or 4th round. Try one of these quarterbacks. If you hit and the kid is better than what he looks like in college, you're okay. If he doesn't, then next year it's easy to go ahead and draft a quarterback again. But that's not something you want to be in the friggin' habit of doing. Yeah, you get you through the lost year. You got that right. I don't know. I just, it's
I mean, you guys could pick up a free agent quarterback out there, and one that's been in the league for a little bit.
well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's what's going to happen now.
Heineke wouldn't be a bad fit for you guys. He did good for us, pretty good.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. I don't know if we take Deshaun Watson. A Mariota, a Malik Willis, um,
I'm hoping
you
we
know,
sign Mariota.
a Jameis Winston from the Giants, if he, stuff like that, I mean, or they may keep him and let Russ go ahead and go. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo from the Rams, that would be a really good guy to go ahead and bring in. To me, maybe you go ahead and you bring in one of those guys.
Carson Wentz.
Yeah, Carson Wentz. I mean, I don't know. Just sign Zach Zach Wilson's a free agent. You could sign him, bring him back. He's older now. Maybe he'll be better.
We'll give you Josh Johnson. He's only almost 40. Play with just about every team in the league.
Yeah, I don't think he may have that bingo card going. He may need the Jets to go ahead and be able to yell bingo.
Yep.
Well, although the Jets did sign Bailey Zappi to some kind of futures contract, which I don't know what the hell that means.
I saw that for my team too. There's a couple of them that I'm like, what the hell's a futures contract?
Unless they just agree because they can't sign right now, maybe. That's all I can think of. But
What is that?
I don't know. It's gonna be interesting stuff. See, what happens.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't count against the salary cap or roster limit.
Oh,
That's all.
what's Larkin? What's the vibe in Kansas City about Travis? Will he come back because he doesn't want to basically have his last pass caught not be from Patty Mahomes? Oh, Josh did play for the Jets already. All right. Oh well. The novelty wouldn't be there. No idea. Yeah, I figured out. Who knows? I mean, when you think about it, Kelsey, from a standpoint of it, is like he's at that age and been around the league to where he doesn't really need a training camp.
True.
I would like to see him go ahead and come back for one more year. Because I would rather see him go out, with Mahomes on the field. Because I think a healthy Mahomes, where their draft picks are going to be now, they're going to get some better players to come in. I think they got a good chance to go ahead and be, back up towards the top and everything. Yep, he is out of work, that's for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, come back for the last 12 games or so. Yep. Just hang out, hey, I'm not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do, and then go ahead and come back, let training camp go through and stuff like that. So
I don't know. I think he's going to end up retiring.
future Mrs. Kelsey won't want him to keep playing.
I don't think so. Chances of getting hurt and all that.
He's gone, or they still have to, or they have to get rid of him. Think he's going to get a head coaching job? I mean, there's plenty of them open. Oh, contract is up. Yeah, I don't know. So to me, yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what Pittsburgh and Baltimore do from a coaching perspective.
That's true.
I mean, that's going to be. I mean, you talk about those. You talk about, the Giants with the Super Bowl wins and just stuff like that. Baltimore, been so close and stuff like that. Really simple. Did you see? Hope so. Takes the competition. Yeah.
I mean, like, who are the Ravens going to get for coach? That's the thing. There's not too many really decent ones out there.
Yeah. But did you hear what the owner from Baltimore said?
I read some of that he stands behind getting rid of them.
He did, but they in his press conference, they said, would John have would he have been safe if the kid doesn't miss the kick? And his answer was, yeah, maybe for a week. Something
Damn.
along those lines.
Obviously, they did not get along.
I get, I guess not.
I mean, he could always bring his brother back in. But
From one Harbaugh to the other.
I just don't see, there's like no coaches out there that would be any good for them.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
I
know.
He's looking for a head coach, but I just don't see that being a fit.
Yeah, I know. I know Antonio Pierce. I think he got an interview. I think the defensive coordinator from the Rams, is it Schuler, or is he for the Chargers?
I don't remember.
Schuler, one of those two guys. I believe he had an interview. From that standpoint, yeah, like I don't like you don't really hear a lot about some of these younger coordinators are out there. I mean, people are talking about Robert Saleh getting another shot already. And I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, and then Biscotti has said that he Biscotti said he wants to get Lamar signed to a long-term deal, to try and renegotiate his contract, to try and get that cap number down also. Oh, pardon me.
I guess we brought Joe Gibbs back in for like some support for the players and stuff like that, which
Makes sense.
I'd love to see him coach again. I know he won't, but it'd be awesome.
Yeah. But when you look at it, Tennessee, Atlanta, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, New York, Cleveland. That's, all of a sudden now it's like, holy crap, Vegas, a lot of teams that need, Arizona,
Need head coaches.
that need head coaches, so, I mean, Stefanski will get a job.
Harbaugh's going to get a job probably in New York.
Harbaugh gets a job if he wants to. He's in his 60s. He may, you never know. I mean, now he probably might be. I think it would be different if you walk away versus when you've been somewhere for a long time, you walking away. Like if it would have been, hey, you know what? Mutually, we decided, the team needs a new direction. That's not the way it happened there. You got fired. So from that standpoint, I can understand, wanting to be like, hey, you know what? No, I don't want to go ahead and take a year off. I want to go ahead and get out there, and coach again.
Right.
Yeah, but when you look at Lamar, is Lamar's cap hit next season? His cap hit. Hey, John, how you doing, Big John? Happy birthday.
What's up, Big John?
Happy birthday. His cap hit is $74 million. His cap hit is 24.48% of the cap next year. And then in 2027, it's the exact same number. $75 million cap hit.
It's a lot.
Yeah, think so. No trade clause, full no trade clause. That's big. That's
He
big.
does, Chuck. He does have his pick, but I think the Giants are looking more and more as a landing place. And no, the NFL is not shutting down for good, Dom.
It's amazing when you look at some of these guys. When you think of certain things like Tua, that contract doesn't sound great and everything, but you know what? If they were to cut Tua, get rid of him, the dead cap hit is $99 million.
Damn.
$99 million if he is cut. That is absolutely insane
Yeah,
for
'cause
that guy.
he is not that. He is terrible.
Yeah. Tua $99 million dead cap hit. That's more than Lamar. Lamar's only an 85.
Who
You
are you going
gotta
to
trade
trade
him.
him? Who are you going to
I
trade
mean,
him to?
you can trade him, but even his regular his cap hit is he's at $56 million. 50 Tua's next 3 years. 56, 53, and 65. Now,
They messed up on that contract.
you cut him at that year because it's only an $18 million cap hit.
Can he play first base?
I mean, he's lefty, so he probably, he'll be good for covering the bag and everything. I don't know if he'll be able. I don't know if he can go ahead and how he is at scooping the ball.
Yeah, but he can't throw a ball. So I mean, he can't throw a
Yeah,
football.
he can't throw, so who gives a crap?
Yeah, so I mean,
The other guy here, names being thrown around about the potential of stuff, is Kyler Murray. About him going ahead and being let go and stuff, but even him trying to be let go.
I know it's not a quarterback, but AJ Brown possibly could be put up for trade. From the Eagles, I saw that.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because they got rid of their offensive coordinator.
Yep. They got rid of their offensive coordinator. The Chargers got rid of their offensive coordinator and their offensive line coach.
We got rid of our coordinator.
But AJ Brown, the 26th season, $23 million contract. His contract, I mean, he's 23, 22, 27, 20, and 29. I mean,
how old is he?
AJ, 29, 28. He'll be 29.
So another one getting up there in age.
Yeah. In June, he will be 29 in June.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just. If he was younger, I'd say go after him, but I mean, we got a decent receiving core, but could use a little help.
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure we're not going to re-sign Lattimore after what happened.
Probably not.
Which is fine with me. You guys can pick up Lattimore. There you go.
We have I think the Jets are going to have like $95 million in cap space available.
Wow.
Once they finish making some more moves and stuff. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how some of this stuff shakes out with these coaches. Like I said, the thing that gets me is I haven't really heard a whole lot about, some young stud, offensive coordinators or defensive coordinators out there.
Right. Yeah.
So where are these coaches going to come from?
Yeah.
I mean, are you gonna make an attempt to potentially? Are you gonna bring a college guy in? You want to try a college guy?
I think the only one there would be Harbaugh if he was available, but
Harbaugh coaches the Chargers.
oh yeah, that's right. So he's not gonna. And they're the ones with the most cap space at 109 million.
Chargers?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're at number 4 at 89 million.
Oh, number 4. Oh,
Well, not too
89?
bad. We have 76 million.
Yeah.
So we have some room. Pick up some good players, not ones that are outdated.
Hey, but if you're, if you're a guy who wants to play for the Jets, the Jets are either going to have to, unfortunately, they'll probably have to overpay a little bit. And then you have to be willing to look and go, hey, you know what? It's going to take me it's going to take a couple of years to go ahead and be good. And what, 30-year-old, 31, 32-year-old is going to want to do that? Like what 30-year-old player is going to want to go there unless they're getting overpaid? Who's going to want to go there and go, well, oh wow, if I sign there, we have 3 first-round draft picks next season. Who gives a rat's ass about that?
Yeah. I mean, we did that, but we ended up making a run at it, and then this year was shit.
You're a guy that wants to play for Jets, you need your head examined.
Well, Jets, I say, in about 4 or 5 years are going to be a team to look at.
Who?
The Jets.
That it all depends on the quarterback,
right?
I mean, it just goes to show you, that if you go ahead and you get it right, you got a shot. You have to go ahead and you have to, there are guys you have to be patient with. I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't everything that he didn't come out as a, hot shit right from the beginning. But, he definitely got better. He was definitely better this past season. So from that, from that standpoint, you can say, okay, hey, but you still have to have the pieces in place to develop them.
So Daniel Jones is going to be a free agent after this year.
But I read I have a buddy that is a big football guy who lives in Indianapolis, and he said everything that he has heard is that the Colts want to go ahead and bring him back. They really like him. They're going to do everything that they can to bring him back. But you got to figure what he's an Achilles guy, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So he's an Achilles guy. It happened mid-season, so at best he's mid-season next year. So in reality, for the most part, next season is kind of lost.
Yeah, I'm looking at like the top 8. Joe Flacco. The Bengals don't bring him back. He wouldn't be bad for you.
Sure.
Pickett, I guess. Trey Lance is going to be available. Like you said, Garoppolo, Teddy Bridgewater, Trubisky. There you go. Oh, Mitch Trubisky. Any one of those guys would work if you happen to get a younger quarterback that they could guide them through.
Well, but I think what you have to look at is a guy that can teach those guys
right
to play.
I mean, Russell Wilson wouldn't be terrible for you.
Yeah, he would.
I mean, I know if we let go of Mariota, you'd like to get him, but I think, like you said, Garoppolo wouldn't be a bad one for you. Obviously, you're not going to want Aaron Rodgers back.
No, I don't. I Again, I don't know how many of them. I don't know how many there are that would become available. And Andy Dalton would be a decent guy to go ahead and have. But I think from a standpoint of is
So according to
you can't
here,
bring a guy that's too young unless you believe in him. Like if you believe that a Malik Willis, I don't know how old Malik Willis is. Let's say Malik Willis is 27 years old. If you go ahead and say, hey,
he's 26.
26.
He'll be 27 in May, so 27. You're right.
So you bring him in. If you think he's good and he plays well next year and you go, wow, you know what? Maybe this is a guy who has figured it out. Maybe this is a guy like Sam Darnold who figured it out.
Maybe. So as far as it says here, you have Daniel Jones, Rodgers, Malik Willis, Russell Wilson, Flacco, Trey Lance, Bridgewater, Garoppolo, Tyrod Taylor, Trubisky, Wentz, and Zach Wilson are your ones basically as of right now that are free agents.
Right.
Like you said, you get rid of Daniel Jones if he signs. So, I mean, like you said, Flacco wouldn't be terrible for you. Malik Willis, like you said, if he plays good. Zach Wilson, I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying, where it gets difficult to take a shot on a Malik Willis, right. is that well, if he plays too good, right?
Right.
If he plays too good, then it it goes ahead and let's make it it messes up your draft position for next year if he plays too good. Again, now you go, well, that doesn't matter because he he's going to go ahead, and he'll be good, and you're good enough to go, and so on and so forth. Okay. Oh, doesn't make a difference if you get. It doesn't make a difference if you have someone who comes in and plays good. If they're not your future, you have 3 first-round draft picks. You could go ahead and trade and move up if you want. True. All that is true and everything, but
you'd rather not have to trade up.
You'd rather not have to go ahead and do that. From that standpoint. Because that one guy is not going to be enough. If you have to trade 3 first-round draft picks to move up to number 1 to get whoever you think is the guy, that one guy is not enough. Go ahead and now it might be something that helps you get better.
But would he be your franchise quarterback?
Pardon me?
Would he be a franchise quarterback that one you traded up to get? You know what I mean?
You have to. It has to be.
You have to have that much belief in him in order to trade those 3 away.
You have to have that much belief to do that. You most certainly do.
Now, you did say 2027 draft class is going to be full of good quarterbacks, so that's a possibility for your Jets, depending on who they get at quarterback, if anybody, or they just stick with who they have now. And that's always a possibility.
Yeah. I don't know. The quarterback room is in shambles. I don't know what the plan is going to be. Supposedly they went ahead and, they've already announced that ticket prices are going up. So it's just, it's crazy.
Maybe they trade up with the Raiders to take Mendoza.
The only way that I think I honestly believe that it would probably cost you 4 of those first round draft. The Raiders would want 4 of those first round draft picks.
Probably.
At that point, you go, hey, no thanks.
Yeah. I know what it's like. My team was like yours. It kind of still is. We had one good year. But if we can pull a decent defense next year, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Other than that, what else is there to talk about? Monday Night Raw kind of sucked. Don't understand why they put the belt on Drew. It kind of made no sense.
I think from what I was reading, it was just a bunch of it had a couple of things. One, rewarding Drew for what he's done for the last year and stuff. I think the other part of it is that Cody going ahead, and just being in the position that he is in. It was just like, I don't know. I don't want to say a little too much, but you know what I mean. Kind of like they were saying, man, the top guy, the face, and so on and so forth. That it was just,
And I mean, there was talk that he might have wanted some time off because he just had a new baby. So I mean, there's that possibility as well. It'd be interesting how long they keep it on Drew.
Well, I mean, if you're taking Cody and you're pulling him out of the picture a little bit, I mean, you really don't have anybody that you could say, hey, definitely hang it on this guy.
Besides Roman. But I can't see them. I mean, I don't know. I can see Jacob going after it after what happened, but
I don't know. There's there was some rumors going around of people wondering, is Jacob, was he doing dirty work for Roman?
it's true. It's a possibility. I thought they were going to get it on Monday night. I really thought they were going to give the win to AJ there. But maybe they're thinking AJ's last match is against him and he goes out as a winner instead of a loser. I don't know.
I got to believe if John Cena lost, AJ Styles is going to lose.
It's true.
Yep, it does.
It does, Chuck, if they do the storylines properly. I mean, the way it's been going with them, no. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with Braun Breaker now that, they put hands on each other.
And why suspend him? I mean, unless the idea is to go ahead and give Finn a little bit of a push here. I mean, Finn, like to me, Finn deserves to be champion.
He does.
His 1-day title reign because he won it on a Sunday, then he got hurt, or he won on a Saturday. I forgot what it was. Then he got hurt and he had to relinquish it the next night.
Yeah. And he really hasn't had a push since then. No, nobody wants to see that.
I don't think people want to see it, but
it's going to happen at some point.
I mean, it's two big names.
Yep.
And maybe it won't. I mean, I don't know if it. I mean, I don't. Who knows when it will happen, if it will happen again. But we'll have to see. I'm not sure and everything. The whole. There's just I don't know. It's like we saw. Are we gonna get? Is Trick Williams gonna be going up now against? He came in with it was Randy in the ring, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So what? We're gonna get that. Not watch the product only following, but it seems boring and still have King as champ, especially since Cody is so much selfish about it. Yeah, and that's probably why Cody doesn't have the belt anymore. Cody without the belt keeps that from happening now. True.
For right now, yes.
Yeah.
Need to see what happens Friday night. I forget when the next PLE is. It's Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah, it'll be Saturday, what is that, the 30th or 31st? And it's gonna be what, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's in Riyadh.
No,
You
they have
know,
a Saturday night main event before that, or no?
I don't know. When I last time I looked at the PLE schedule, I didn't see it, but Walken is saying that they do have something there.
I'm gonna look up real quick.
Cody with the belt meant Roman winning the Rumble. Now anybody could win it. That's true. But
Yeah,
don't forget,
January.
but didn't Drew have beef with the Bloodline?
He did at one point. Yeah, yeah. There, the 24th is in Montreal. There's a Saturday night main event. In the Royal Rumble, 9 p.m. It's saying Rhea as the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, 9 p.m. in Riyadh. That means it's what, three? Either is Riyadh 6 or 8 hours ahead of us?
Good question. Well, it's 6:47 in the morning right now, and it's 10:47 here. So
That's 8 hours.
yeah,
If
it'll
it's
be
at
one
9 o'clock in Riyadh, it's at 1 o'clock here.
back here. Yep.
Yikes! That'll kill the U.S. crowd.
Yeah, I'll watch the rerun of it.
And then and then anybody on social media that follows wrestling, it'll kill it for them.
Yep. That happened with last Friday night when Drew won. It was all over Facebook.
Yeah. I don't know. The storylines, they're so blurry and everything. Like you look at Raw, you're just building up this whole thing of CM Punk against the Vision.
Yeah.
And then you have Breaker do what he does to get suspended, and you bring Finn Balor in.
I don't.
Like I just don't get. I don't get
What's
it.
the point of that? I mean, finish the story with Braun first, because okay, yeah, he beat him, but I mean, I don't know. It just makes no sense to me. I mean, I don't think they're going to suspend him because with Adam Pearce putting his hands on him first, so they'll probably say like you started it, so I'm not going to allow that. Unless Braun wants some time off.
Well,
then he takes time off until Cody.
Unless there's a hidden injury or something like that, but you look at the way he runs around the ring doing what he's doing, you wouldn't think there would be, unless they're saying, hey, you could do the spear as long as you don't go ahead and hit hit somebody with your head if you get him with your shoulder because you have a little bit of a ding in your neck or something like that. But I don't know what they do. Again, as I say, it's even like crazy. You had Ilya Dragunov as your U.S. champ. You take the belt off of him, you put it on Carmelo. All right, now Carmelo does the open challenge and stuff. Okay, all right, that's great. You have Dom as IC, right? When's he gonna go ahead and friggin' fight for that title again?
Yeah.
The tag division. Now you have what next Monday night. Next Monday. Which I think is another early one. I think it's 3 o'clock from Belfast.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you gonna do? So now the big thing is the Usos against Otis and Tozawa. Really?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, Come on, man. Oh, Dom is hurt. I didn't know Dom got injured.
Supposedly, I want to look at it, see if it's.
You know, I mean, they're trying to push some of the women's shit with Raquel and Stephanie. The whole the women's tag team thing is crazy because, you know, when you look at Bailey and Lyra, and you look at the Kabuki Warriors, and then you look at what was the other one that was in there on that triple threat
Bailey's partner.
with Bailey and Lyra, Kabuki Warriors, and then who was the other one? Oh, it was Liv and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Okay. Liv and Roxanne win the tag belts. They take them, you know, they take the tag belts. You have Lash Legend and you have friggin' Nia Jax.
Yeah.
You know, where does anybody go ahead and beat them?
Nowhere. But it's always the underdog, the small person that beats the big person. Yeah, Dom's is just a shoulder injury. He's supposed to be 3 to 4 weeks. Be back by the Royal Rumble, they say.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's no. Yeah, the two largest women in there.
Yeah. You took the two biggest women, you know, and it's not like you have Bianca and Jade as a tag team. You go, okay, well that all right. Yeah, hey,
That's
you
a
know,
possibility.
that looks like that could be a fair fight. Right? But if you see the Kabuki Warriors go up against those two, you're like, yeah, really? In what world?
Yeah.
Only in the world of make believe.
Yep.
Only in the world of make believe.
Only in Mr. Rogers' world would that happen, right?
You know.
But I think they're going to end up eventually taking the belt off of Dom and kind of giving him a push towards the title. Eventually, here in the next couple months, I think. Jade versus Jordan, yeah, it's not good. Well, yeah, against Jordan, no, that's not going to be any good. I'd like to see Bianca come back. I imagine she'd be back soon because it's only a broken finger. And you don't see Montez Ford and him anymore. But yeah, the tag teams on either side, women or men, are just terrible.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
They're
Jade versus Jordan is not that good. When you think about it, think about this. They had the Women's Intercontinental Championship on TV more than the Women's World Title.
Yeah.
Now, Stephanie, she's really good. I know they're setting up a storyline with Roxanne.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sorry, with Raquel. But for crying out loud, so that's their big thing. Have Jade go ahead and come out with the microphone. Yeah, I'm that bitch, and drop it and turn around and walk away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the only way. That's probably the best thing for anybody who's going to face her, because once they get in the ring, they're going to get hurt.
True.
You know, she's going to do something stupid and she's going to hurt She's going to hurt him. Like, what are you doing with that? What in God's green earth are you doing with that freaking title on that woman if you're not having her do anything with it?
Right. And why do you put the belt on Becky again? That made no sense to me either. I mean, putting that title.
I don't know. You know, everybody is saying because it sets up her versus AJ Lee.
It does.
But AJ hasn't done anything since freaking Survivor Series.
No, Maxine didn't make sense either, but It's a little
Yeah.
more enjoyable to watch her have it than the other one, but then Becky. But the only
Well, the
time
one thing
AJ did come out to give where Maxine won the title, but other than
yes,
that, nothing.
but she hasn't been in the ring doing anything
Right.
since that and the thing Maxine, look, she's still green and everything, but but stop with the straps. All right, stop pulling the straps down. Just stop.
Yeah.
Just please, just stop that. Stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. The Maxine again. Yeah, again, it's probably a reward, giving her a reward, giving her a little bit of a hey, a pat on the back, that a girl, because of what she did, what she's been going through and how hard she's been working. I'm not saying I agree with it. That's all I can think of. But it just goes to show you that no matter what, you know, they still think Becky brings more because they took it off of her really fast and
I
they put it
can
on.
see
They
that.
put it back
Becky's
on.
probably a bigger draw, yes. But how often is she on there? I mean, actually wrestling, how often? It's more talk.
Well, yeah, but
Now, I know AJ signed a multi-year deal, full-time deal, but where is she? Do you not have a storyline for her? I mean,
I don't know. Like they had an opportunity for something when they had Becky submit to AJ in Survivor Series.
yeah, they did.
They had the beginning of something, but then they turned it into nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero.
I mean, I know she had her book tour. Okay, well, that's probably just about over. But what are you going to do with her? Bring her back and she automatically goes for the title? I mean, she should have to work for it, honestly.
Well, that's what I mean. That's one of those things that doesn't make any sense. Here we are with this type of thing. I mean, why did you again? Why did you bother putting it on Maxine if the truth is you were going to go ahead and yank it off that damn fast?
Yeah.
Because you did absolutely nothing for her.
And I can't, when she rematches, she's not going to win it.
Like, what does that do for Maxine?
Absolutely nothing.
So I don't know, man. It's the frustrating part of the WWE. It's the stuff that makes
terrible.
Of what could possibly be next and stuff, and where to me we try to figure it out, and like it ain't even worth trying to figure out.
And if they signed her AJ to a multi-year full-time contract, at some point they're going to push her for the title again. One of the titles. I can see that happening.
I don't know, man. I think I think if you're going to go ahead and you're going to do her, if you're going to do something with her and Becky, the IC title is enough to me for that and everything. But again, whatever. What are you doing with the US title? You put it on Julia, and Julia is an unbelievable wrestler, but she gets nothing from the crowd.
Nope.
Tells you what they think of Tia too. Didn't give it back to Blake and still got it off as fast as they could. Yeah, well, I heard they didn't put it back on Blake because Blake was supposed to be getting called up, but now it looks as though that's not going to happen because last night I think Blake Monroe was attacked by a returning Jada Parker. That is what I had heard why they didn't put it back on her quickly, why they gave it to Izzy, because Blake was supposed to get called up to the main roster.
And that's another one. Oba Femi. What are they going to do with him now that they've called him up? Nobody knows. All you can do is sit back and just be amazed at what they do.
sit back and wait and scratch your head and wonder.
So anyway, it's 11 o'clock. We've been
Yep.
here for 2 hours.
2 hours. Thanks a lot for hanging out.
Thank you all.
Walken and Dom and Chuck.
Yes.
Appreciate you
everybody.
guys.
Good talk tonight. Check us out on Tuesday night with Pittsburgh. We're dialed in, and then back to us next Wednesday.
Yep. Yeah. Should be enjoy football this weekend.
Yes.
You know, got the weekend and you got Monday night also. And for those of you that like college football, Monday night should be a very interesting game. Yeah. So good night, everybody. Enjoy. Have fun.
Yes.
Catch you at the next one.
All right. Have a good one, brothers.